During the last weekend of May, we were graced with the Texas Chain Saw Massacre technical test. And I think it's fair to say that most people loved it. The majority of the creators who got to play the game said that it was the most fun they'd had in a very long time, and now it's just a matter of counting down the days until the full game actually releases. But, like any other brand new asymmetrical game that enters the arena, it raised the age-old question: will it finally be the game that kills Dead by Daylight? And the short answer to that is no. No, it won't. As much as I loved playing the Texas Chain Saw Massacre, as much as I am excited for the full game's release, I can't sit here and lie and say that it has any chance of killing or dethroning Dead by Daylight to be the top asymmetrical game on the market. In fact, no game ever will, at least not for a very long time. And I wanted to make a video talking about why. Now, before you click off the video, don't worry, this won't be just an ass-kissing video of behavior in Dead by Daylight, I promise. They definitely do things wrong in their game design, and sometimes very wrong, but at the same time, it is worth acknowledging the success and the positives of the game so far. And I've broken this down into 4 main categories. 1, licensed IP acquisition. 2, constant new content being added into the game. 3, content creator coverage. And 4, it's just a good game. I think that last one might be considered a bit of a hot take and it's probably going to get me into trouble. Let's start with the licensed IP acquisitions, because this is probably the most obvious reason as to why Dead by Daylight has been so successful. If you know one thing about Dead by Daylight, it's probably that the game features multiple recognizable and global intellectual properties that span across gaming, movies, television, and much more. Things ranging from Halloween to Nightmare on Elm Street to Ringu to Alice in Wonderland, Dead by Daylight pretty much has its fingers in all of the pies. Like, we even have Nicolas Cage coming into the game. Not Nicolas Cage playing a character, no, just Nicolas Cage. Realistically, there's no end to what Dead by Daylight can just pluck out and put into its fog. And all of these massive brands and these massive characters and these massive properties come together in one place. Dead by Daylight is the only game that you can load up and play as Michael Myers while you're chasing Jill Valentine around the Badham preschool, whilst Laurie Strode and a character called Dwight, who's dressed up as an Attack on Titan character, complete a generator on the other side of the map. And this variety of content leads to a variety of audiences. Pretty much anybody that loads up Dead by Daylight is going to find a character that they love and enjoy, and that's going to keep them there to at least try out the game rather than just requesting a refund straight away. And our next main point kind of ties into that previous point, which is the continuous addition of new content. Every 3 months or so in the game, sometimes sooner, we get a brand new chapter featuring brand new characters. Sometimes a killer and a survivor, sometimes just one of each, and sometimes even including a brand new map to play on. This continuous drip feeding of new things to explore and play and learn just means that the game never really gets stale. At least not for very long. It definitely does go through periods of being stale, but you can always count on the fact that very soon there'll be a new chapter with new things coming out to bring you back in the game and give you something new to try out. And I think that is probably a very big reason as to why Dead by Daylight is so popular with content creators, which brings us on to our third point: content creator coverage. There's no denying that Dead by Daylight is a very popular game on Twitch and on YouTube, which of course makes it popular for established and new content creators alike. In fact, some people have built their entire careers just off playing DBD. You can probably name a few off the top of your head. And what this basically means for behavior is constant free marketing for Dead by Daylight, helping it reach new audience members who may not have found the game any other way. Now, it does have to be said that Behavior can't really take credit for this one, but to be fair, they did introduce the Fog Whisperer program, so that shows, on some level at least, that they do understand the value that this is bringing to their game. And the fourth and final point, which is probably the hottest take in this video, is that Dead by Daylight is just a good game. The game has been running for 7 years, and I think it's fair to say that it has proven over that time that it is a fun and enjoyable game to play and to keep coming back to. It's well designed, the matches are fun and engaging, and it's pretty much become the blueprint for any new asymmetrical game to build off. And for those of you who are cringing at me right now for even thinking about saying such words, how else would you explain the game's long, successful run? How else would you explain the amount of fans that the game has who will keep coming back to it day in, day out sometimes? I think recently as a community, we've been very annoyed with the game, so the idea of it being classed as good has become almost like a social pariah statement. But it is good, and that's why people are always returning to it and staying in it once they get started. So yeah, Dead by Daylight has proven itself to be the king of asymmetrical games. But so what? Why am I even making this video? Well, it's for a simple reason. It's to ask. No, it's to beg for people to stop pitting new games against Dead by Daylight. Whenever a new asymmetrical game enters the chat, people will almost immediately label it as the Dead by Daylight killer. And if it doesn't achieve this lofty goal, it's labeled as a failure. But all that does is hurt the new game's chances of ever having a successful run. It would be like saying that every new movie released needs to be the box office smash of its genre, otherwise it's not going to be considered good or successful. Which, when you put it like that, would be absolutely ridiculous, right? Basically, we can't seem to allow games to coexist in the same market. A new game either has to destroy Dead by Daylight or it crashes and burns. And ironically as well, this also massively hurts Dead by Daylight. Without regular competition, Dead by Daylight won't grow and evolve and improve. It will just be comfortable with its spot as the monopoly of the market and will see no reason to ever get better in itself. Honestly, it's been really sad to watch this narrative grow about the Texas Chain Saw Massacre when people are pitting it against Dead by Daylight and also judging Texas Chain Saw Massacre off criteria that they set for DVD, which is a game that's 7 years old. And Texas Chain Saw Massacre, you know, no one has more than 100 hours playtime in that game. They're not on the same level. It's ridiculous to compare them in that way. If I want you to take any point away from this video, the main point of what I'm trying to get across, it's that we should allow games to coexist in the same market. And we should be judging a game based on its own merits and playability. That's what I want you to take away from this, because realistically, no new game is going to dethrone Dead by Daylight anytime soon. And if we're constantly setting that criteria, then there'll be no game to even have a chance of dethroning it in the future. But of course, I am interested in what you guys think. So let me know down in the comments what you think of this whole video and the whole discourse around Texas Chain Saw Massacre versus Dead by Daylight. And if you've enjoyed the video, leave it a like and subscribe for more gaming and Dead by Daylight content. I upload regularly, or at least I try to, so you'll always have new content to watch. For now, guys, thank you so much for watching. Go out there and be the best damn cranks that you can be, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. I'm taking that crown from you.